Hello, my dear friends and my future customers. In this video, I would like to talk about the traveling requirements. And I see a lot of questions from you guys, and I would like to just make it general for everybody and answer your questions right away that everybody can see this video and find the answers. So first of all, being a travel agent, I would like to tell you guys, maybe you don't know or you don't understand that requirements for traveling by air and by, let's say, by water as you cruise, it can be different. And first of all, it really depends where you're traveling, if you're traveling domestic or you're traveling internationally. And that's the case. So people who would like to travel internationally, you always have to have your valid passport with you. The first and most important thing that you have to consider before even booking any travel, before even planning anything, is to check your expiration date of all the members who is traveling with you in your group, and then you can start planning. But the case of it is, and what is most confusing part of it is that we live in the United States, and some of us guys have different travel documents. Like, let's say, I will be an example right now. I'm from Ukraine, and I have American passport, so I'm US citizen, and I am still have a passport from Ukraine, and it's it's the question is like which passport to use when I'm traveling internationally. Of course, I use American passport because United States citizens, we can travel in most countries without any visa. But you have to remember that next year it changed if you travel to Europe. So I'm not gonna discuss this one right now, but in that video you have to understand that first of all, check your requirements. What citizen of what country you are. Still, if you have several passports, several citizenship, and that's what makes more confusing for people, that they don't understand that part. Like some people that I see, they might still going through the immigration process in United States, and they have their residency, they have a green card, they have a permanent resident green card. And at that point, some of the clients, they asking me the same question: can I travel internationally with the green card? The answer is no, because, and I will explain, because guys, guess what's happened? Green card, it gives you the permission to come back to United States, but it's not your passport, it's not the main identification. Passport is still have more value, if I can say that, as their permanent residency card. Again, the green card, it's not the document to travel internationally. When I travel and I go through the immigration process with my paperwork, and in my case, and I travel to Ukraine or to Dominican, and I had a green card at that time, so I still travel on my Ukrainian passport, because the passport that I have valid, that the citizen of Ukraine I was back in the day, and I check the requirements for Ukrainian citizens to travel internationally to Dominican Republic and to, of course, Ukraine. I mean, because I didn't have another passports back in the day, and I was only citizen of Ukraine. So I saw the question from a lady not long ago, and she was, I believe, from China or something like that, and she asked me if she can go on the cruise to Bahamas, I believe. So, and she told me she had a green card. I said, okay, well, again, guys, it's different. When you travel internationally, you always have to have your passport, and you always have to check the requirements of that country, what they need for you to travel to their country, being the citizen of this or that country. If, let's say, you from Russia, or you from Mexico, or you from England, or so, always check the requirements of your country of your citizenship, if they need visa or not, and how the process work, if you need to fill out any some sort of like form before traveling to that country, and how long you can stay in that country without visa. So usually for us, the US citizens, we can travel most countries and stay there for like 3 months, which is no longer than 90 days without any problem. I mean, at least it's like that in, I believe, Jamaica and Bali and Mexico and Dominican. So that's an example. If you travel domestically in United States, so yes, you can use your green card everywhere. You can even use your driving license. You don't need your passport, so it makes it much easier. And I don't know why people still thinking that and have questions like if we travel into Hawaii or Alaska. Hawaii and Alaska, it's still United States. It's still the part of United States, so whatsoever, it's not divided in, it's not the separate country or something like that. So Hawaii is just far away, and people sometimes, I guess, forget that it's still United States. It's not the separate, it's not the separate government there or something. It's part of United States, the same as Puerto Rico. So international traveling, always have your passport, always check when it's valid, and check your citizenship. That my first questions I ask in my clients when they try to book something. I said, is your passport valid? When it's expiring? And of course of all the members in the group. And then I'm asking, what is your citizenship status right now? Because I know that we have a lot of immigrants in the United States. I'm one of them personally, so that we don't have any issues, that we don't waste everybody's time. So always, guys, think about that. What country are you from and what citizenship you have, and then go from there. This is the number one priority. Another thing that I want to explain to you, if you travel, if you would like to book a cruise, okay? So this is completely different story. If you're traveling by plane or if you swimming, it's different. So for kids, or even for yourself, I guess, but it's more for kids. You can just take the passport card with you or the birth certificate if they were born in United States. You don't have to have their passport, but again, it depends where you travel. Let's say if you travel to Bahamas, again, Caribbean, all of those islands, and you can actually read about it. If you turn around your passport card, you will see where you can travel. Usually it's Mexican, Caribbean, and Bahamas. So all of that region, you don't have to have any visa. You don't have to have a passport if you a United States citizen. I mean, or if your children are United States citizen, you can travel with your passport card or with your birth certificate if it's children, or you can travel with your passport card. So it shouldn't be a problem if you United States citizen. Again, green card will not work. The green card, if you take a cruise, again, it will let you come back in United States. They will let you in. They will check that you are permanent resident and you can enter United States without any problem. But again, when you decide to take cruise in any country, and you always have to check how many destinations it's in there in your itinerary that you will visit. Let's say Curacao, Belize, or Aruba, or Dominican, Mexico, whatever countries you would like to visit on your trip, because there might be 5 destinations, there might be 6 destinations, there might be 3 or 4, whatever. Check all the requirements for all of these places, and again, check your citizenship. If you are a citizen of United States, if you're a citizen of Ukraine, or if you're a citizen of any other country. And again, if you have a green card or if you have a passport of United States. So the same way from the traveling by cruise, the same thing, it just easier to travel by cruise If you're United States citizen, you not necessarily have a passport. You can just have your birth certificate that you were born in United States, or if your kids were born in United States, and you can have a passport card. There shouldn't be a problem. But again, depends where you're traveling. So this is the main difference when you travel in domestic, when you're traveling by plane, when you're traveling by boat, or I mean the cruise. And this is the difference. This is the main case. This is the main issue. Another thing about traveling is when people got to United States with the program Uniting for Ukraine or TPS, or I mean whatever other program they have, you know, any kind of visas and stuff, and they still want to travel. Again, guys, first of all, Uniting for Ukraine program doesn't let you travel internationally. Unfortunately, if you come to United States with this program, you stuck here in United States. Yes, you can travel to Alaska. Yes, you can travel to, Hawaii. There is a cruise if you fly to Hawaii, and then you can take a cruise around the islands. But make sure that the boat doesn't stop in Mexico, because most of the cruises, they stop in Mexico. They do this one stop in there. And if you book the cruise from Hawaii, around Hawaii, just make sure that there is no stop in Mexico, because otherwise it's already considered to be international port. So what else? As for the TPS, I mean, again, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not an immigration lawyer. I can't give you advices where you can travel or not with what documents you have. Of course, if you have visa in United States for 10 years or 6 months or something, whatever you have, it's another question if you can travel somewhere else. I mean, I guess you can, but again, you have to check what is the requirement and your passport expiration date and the requirements to travel in another country, because United States visa, it doesn't guarantee you anything. It only have that permission to be in this country, in United States, not anywhere else. If you decide to go to Canada and you have only United States visa, you still have to consider and figure it out what the requirements for you being a citizen of Ukraine, let's say, what you need for enter the Canada, and you probably have to apply for visa or whatever requirements for Canada, I don't know, but so there are so many countries, guys, and so many people, and when you're asking me, I want to travel, but I have only visa, I have only this, I have only that. Well, sometimes, unfortunately, I don't want you to get upset, but if the travel agent tells you, no, this is not possible, unfortunately, this is only options that you have. I understand, guys, some of you like to travel, and I do appreciate that. I do really appreciate and value each of you guys, and that you asking me for help, and I will be more than happy to help, but I can't really, book the trip for you if you unfortunately not allowed to travel internationally. There is river cruises available, as I said, there is Hawaiian cruise, there is Alaska cruise, but again, Alaska cruise, they go to Canada as well. Usually they stop in Canada. Maybe I'm not familiar with all the companies, the cruise companies, and all the itinerary that goes to Alaska. Maybe there is some, trip and that not required to stop in Canada, but I guess I doubt about it, because from what I see, from what I learn, it's more or less they stop in there. Well, maybe if it is, let's say, if you traveling from Seattle and you visiting just couple of stops in Alaska, not going in Canada, then you can do that as well. You can travel, and it doesn't consider travel internationally, just some dust flying. So what else, guys? I mean, as I said, unfortunately, it's not always the travel agent, can help you to book your trip with what you have. It's always a requirement. It's not up to me to decide if you're gonna risk your immigration status or not. I highly recommend you to consider all of that before you spend your money, and before you start planning anything and get so excited, and then it's we find out that you're not allowed to travel. So Please do your own research. Please Google it. It's not hard to find this information because it's for everybody. It's in public. Just Google it, like what is requirements for this and this citizen to travel in that and that country. I mean, everybody can find that information, and that's what you should start from. This should be your number one. If you have a United States passport, they're not a problem for you guys to travel. But again, being a travel agent and travel advisor, we getting so many emails every day with all the updates, what's going on in the world, what's going on in the cruise industry, all the trade show, all the business conferences and such. And we are those people who know that information, from the first hand, I must say. And that's why we're making those videos. We make live, we make this information available for you guys, that you can learn from us as well. Because, like, let's say when I asked some of my friends, I told them, like, hey guys, do you know that next year they changed the requirements for United States citizens travel to Europe? And they like, no, we didn't hear about it. I mean, it's probably some bullshit, it's not gonna happen. We don't know if it's happened. No, guys, it is happening, and I find out first as well because I'm a travel agent. I open my email every day, I'm scrolling through it every day during the day and make sure that I'm not missing anything. Like, let's say I find out some news as well, what new cruise ships are coming, what year they're gonna be on this port or that port, how they're gonna look like, what they offer to the people, to my customers, and then I can provide you this information and find you the best trip and best offer, and tell you what's the difference between this cruise company and or that one. And, like, let's say one of the biggest news what happening right now in United States is that the company that calls Brightspeed, they Brightsline, sorry. It's a fast train that goes from Miami to Orlando right now, and it's super amazing news because we've been waiting for that so long that you guys don't have to drive anymore. For those ones especially who don't want to drive, or who travel to Florida but they don't want to rent a car, you can fly to Orlando and then take a train. It's very convenient, it's super brand new, it's super cool, and it's not that expensive. Definitely you will save money for gas, for rental car, and you can take that train straight to Miami International Airport and see the different destination. You can stop in West Palm Beach, you can stop in Fort Lauderdale, you can stop in Aventura. There are many stops on the way, and it will be super easy for traveling between those cities right now, because it's one of the two biggest cities in Florida. And guess what? How I find out about that? Well, they sent me an email because I'm a travel agent, and I posted that on my Facebook as well. Those news that is going on, super excited. I, by the way, was one of that person, one of those first people who tried their service, and I was riding that train with my kid and my husband. And back in the day, I believe it was 2018, because my husband was part of the company. He worked for them as well, and they gave us just free tickets and opportunity to try when they just started to building it. From, I believe it was from Fort Lauderdale, we went to West Palm Beach, something like that. I don't really remember, but I can guarantee that it is very fast train, and I wish they build in more and more branches all over United States and make it more affordable for people to travel by train, because we're missing that in this country. Hopefully they're not gonna stop only in Florida, because I hear that they trying to do the branch from Las Vegas to Utah. I guess that's what's one of the news that potentially is coming. I'm not sure when, but will be super cool as well. Or to go from Las Vegas to Los Angeles, that will be also super cool. Will be fast and convenient. So guys, that's it for today, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, like my channel, and see you soon. Bye bye, have a great day.